Hello friends, my name is Reshma Patil. In this video, we will learn about data structure. This is my first video of data structure. In this video, we will start from objectives of data structure. First objective is to understand the concepts of abstract data types. To implement linear data structures, lists, stacks and queues. To apply sorting and searching. To apply tree and graph structures. To efficiently implement different data structures. This is the first chapter of data structure, basic concept and introduction to data structure. In this chapter, we will see pointers and dynamic memory allocation, basics about this, algorithm, definition and characteristics, algorithm analysis. In this, we will see space complexity, time complexity, asymptotic notation. Next, we will see introduction to data structure. In this, types of data structure, abstract data types are covered. Next, introduction to arrays and structure. In this, types of array and representation of array, polynomial, polynomial representation, evaluation of polynomial and addition of polynomial is covered. And last is self-referential structure. So first, in this video, we will see first point, that is pointers and dynamic memory allocation. What is pointer? Pointer is a variable which is used to store the address of another variable. This table shows the symbols used in pointer. First symbol is address of operator. It used to determine the address of a variable. And second symbol is indirection operator. It is used to access the value at the address. What are the advantages of pointer? It returns multiple values from function. It accesses any memory location. It improves the performance. It reduces the code. It is used for dynamic memory allocation and it used in arrays, functions and structures. This is simple example of pointer. First two lines are header files stdio.h and conio.h. Inside the void main we have to write all the program. First variable is integer variable, integer n is equal to 50. 50 value is assigned to this variable. Second variable is pointer variable, integer. This pointer is of type integer. So integer star p is the pointer variable. Clear screen, it will clear the console. Then here we have to assign the address of variable to the pointer variable because pointer variable stores the address of another variable. So here it will p stores the address of n variable. Now we have to print the content of n as well as pointer variable using printf statement. So first printf statement is value of n variable. So value of n variable is of type integer. So to show the value of integer type we have to use %d and comma, after that here is a variable name. So it will print here instead of %d it will print the content of variable n, that is 50. Now next is address of n variable. Now we have to see the actual address of n variable. To check the address of any variable we have to write here %u and here using and we have to write the variable name. So using this statement we will get the address of this n variable. Now here we have to, in third printf statement we have to check the value of p variable. What it contains? What contains pointer variable? It contains the address of another variable. So here both the statement output should be same because this line also shows the address of n variable and value of p variable is actually the storage of address of another variable, that is n variable. So both result should be same. Now in last printf statement we have to get the value of n variable using pointer variable. So here we have to write the value of variable data type of that variable, that is %d. Using %d we can get the integer value and using star operator we can get the value of the particular address which is stored into this pointer variable. So output of this is first printf is value of n variable is 50, address of n variable is, it could be anything, it depends on your machine. Value of p variable is same, address of n variable both should be same, and value of p variable using pointer is 50. So value of n is stored into this p variable, pointer variable. We can get the value of n variable using pointer also. Now next, dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic memory allocation means to allocate a memory at runtime. DMA is possible by 4 functions of stdlib header file. What are that functions? Malloc, calloc, realloc and free. These are the functions and uses of function. First, malloc. It allocates single block of requested memory. How much memory user has requested, it only allocates single block. Calloc, it allocates multiple block of requested memory. Realloc, it will reallocate the memory occupied by malloc and calloc function. And free, it frees the dynamically allocated memory. Now first we will see malloc function. It allocates single block of requested memory. It returns a pointer of type void, which can be cast into a pointer of any form. We can declare pointer of integer, character, float. So return value of pointer we can convert into any type of pointer value. It initializes each block with default garbage value. Here every block is initialized with garbage value using malloc. Syntax: ptr, cast type. Here we have to write the data type because malloc returns the void type of value, so we have to convert that into any type. So which is a type of pointer, whether it is integer, float, character, that type we have to write here to convert. Then function name malloc, it takes only one parameter, byte size. We will see this example in next slide also. Here ptr is equal to, this ptr is of integer, so integer star, this is casting type. Malloc is the function and we have 5 elements. So for that we have to mention the size of that element. Size of int 4 bytes. 4 bytes shows on the basis of your machine. My machine is of 32 bits, so it will show integer is 4 bytes. Size of integer is 4 bytes. So it will allocate 5 into 4, 20 bytes of memory. A large 20 bytes memory block is dynamically allocated to ptr. Example of malloc. Here I have not written header files. We have to include stdlib.h header file with stdio and conio.h. So in void main I have declared one pointer variable star integer star ptr and 2 integer variables n and I. Next I have initialized n equal to 5. So I will take memory for 5 blocks. Here I have allocated memory using malloc function. ptr is of type integer, so I have written here typecast as an integer star, and in malloc I have to write here n into size of integer. Then if you want to check memory is allocated or not, we will write this statement if ptr equal to null. If it is true, means memory is not allocated, otherwise it will go to the else part and show memory allocated successfully. Here we will get the array element and print the array element from these statements using for loop. Output of malloc function is memory allocated successfully and elements of the array are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now next is calloc function of dynamic memory allocation. It is also called contiguous allocation method in C to dynamically allocate the specified number of blocks of memory of specified type. It initializes each block with a default value 0. In malloc there is a garbage value, here default value is 0. Syntax of calloc is ptr equal to cast type star calloc n comma element size. Difference from malloc is only function name is changed. There is a malloc, here is a calloc, and parameters are in malloc one parameter is there, and in calloc there are two parameters n comma element size. For example, this is a float pointer, so I have casted it into float. Then use calloc function. value of n variable, comma, size of float. Size of float is also 4 bytes, so it will allocate 20 bytes of memory. There are 5 blocks of and each contain 4 bytes. So 5 into 4, 20 bytes of memory is allocated to PTR variable, pointer variable. Example will be same as malloc, only difference is here I have to change the function name. Instead of malloc I have used here calloc, and parameters are representation of parameters are different, n comma size of integer. Again here I have to check whether pointer has allocated memory or not. If it is not allocated, it will show memory not allocated. Otherwise it will get the element from the user or from the system and print that element here. So output of calloc function is memory allocated successfully. Elements of array are 1 to 5. Next function is a realloc. Reallocation method in C to dynamically change the memory allocation of previously allocated memory. We have already allocated memory using malloc or calloc function, and that is not sufficient. Then there is a facility given by this dynamic memory allocation. Under this there is one function, realloc function. Using this function we can reallocate memory. Reallocation of memory maintains the already present value and new blocks will be initialized with default garbage value. So syntax of reallocation, realloc memory is PTR is equal to realloc in bracket PTR comma new size. Here example of malloc, 5 into 4 bytes of float. 20 bytes of memory is allocated previously. After some time I feel that I need to store 2 more elements, then I will change the allocation using a realloc function. Here I have to write the previous pointer variable name which have already stored 5 elements, value of 5 elements. Now I have to add 2 more, so I will write here 7 into size of float. It will allocate memory for 28 bytes. So previously it was 20 bytes of memory for PTR. Now it is changed to 28 bytes. This 20 bytes is as it is there in the memory. Only 8 bytes are increased by using this realloc function. So for 8 byte means there are 2 float elements we have to store into this allocated memory. This is the example of reallocation. Example will be same as a malloc, only changes here. Previously I have initialized n equal to 5. Now I have to change n is equal to 7 after printing the element of previous array or previous pointer variable. Here I will use realloc function PTR. This is previous pointer variable comma n into size of integer. N is 7 now. So it will increase the allocation by using a realloc function. So now we have 1 to 5 elements, total 5 elements there previously in this pointer variable. So for that 5 elements we have entered value, only 2 elements are remaining, next 6 and 7. So in array 6 and 7 will be 5 and 6. So 5 and 6 we will get the element value and store into the array. And for at this last statement we will print all the values from 1 to 7. So reallocation output will be memory allocated successfully in elements of the array are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last function of dynamic memory allocation is free. It is used to dynamically deallocate the memory which is allocated by malloc and calloc function. The memory allocated using functions malloc and calloc is not deallocated on their own. That's why we need to use free method here whenever the dynamic memory allocation takes place. It helps to reduce wastage of memory by freeing it. Syntax free in bracket, here we have to pass the pointer variable which we have used for malloc and dealloc. Example, using malloc 5 into 4, 20 bytes of memory is allocated here, and using free function I will release that memory. Free in bracket pointer variable name, it will after executing this statement it will free the memory. Now example will be same as a malloc, only after printing the element on the console here we have to write free PTR. So after executing this it will show memory successfully free. This is the output of free function. Memory allocated successfully. Elements of array are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and memory is successfully free. Thank you.